Okay, so in this demo, we are going to walk through the steps of creating a build a box demo. So when you're logged into the app over here on the left-hand panel, go ahead and click on Create Bundle. Now we suggest starting with a template and from there selecting Build a Box. Perfect. So one of the first things you're going to notice is that this definitely resembles the Shopify editor as far as kind of the design of it. And that's done intentionally just so that it's more intuitive and easy for you to navigate and create your first bundle. So up here on the top toolbar, you're going to see a toggle between desktop and mobile, preview, save changes, and this is where you can publish and unpublish your bundles accordingly. Next, you're going to notice right here in the middle, this is your canvas, and this will update in real time depending upon which selections you make from the left-hand column or the right-hand column. So the first thing I want to do is I'm actually just going to click on steps because I want to go ahead and add our products to this canvas, to this bundle, so that you can see as we're making updates, how it will update in real time. So when you click on steps, again, traditionally, build a box bundles are just one step, but you can always add more steps if you wish to do so. Next, you're going to click on the build your box step here, and you'll notice that this updates the right-hand panel in real time. So now from here, we're going to go ahead and give our step a name. So we're going to call this the cookie box. And then you can select your product source, either a collection or individual products, in order to start adding products to your bundle. And so for us, we're going to select collection, and then we're going to go ahead and click on pick a collection. And then this will pop open all of the different collections you have in Shopify. We're going to select cookies. Awesome. So now you can see the canvas is updated in real time, and we have a list of all of our cookies that customers will be able to select from to build their box. So with that said, a couple of things to notate. So we're going to come back and we're going to actually go through all of the different step settings here so that we can set this up exactly how we want to. Before we do that, the other thing to note here is you can actually adjust how many product cards there are going to be per row. And I think that only showing 2 product cards per row actually aesthetically doesn't look the greatest for these types of products. And so I'm going to go ahead and click on or close out the step settings. And so now I want to show you in this panel here, this is where you can change some of the colors, the card and button radius. This is the edges and how sharp or rounded you want them to be. And then we also have an option here to select or change the cards per row for both desktop and mobile. And so if you leave it at automatic, you can actually adjust the card size down here as well for automatic mode, and you can go ahead and change the size that you want. And depending on how large or how small you make them, the canvas is going to update in real time. But by default, that mode will be set at 200. Now you also have the option for desktop to change it from automatic to showing 2, 3, or 4 product cards per row. And for mobile, you have the option of leaving it at automatic or showing 1 or 2 cards per row. So for desktop, we're going to go ahead and select 3. And you can see how this will automatically update your canvas to 3 product cards per row. And I'm going to leave it set at automatic for mobile. Great. So now with that being done, we're going to go ahead and click on the steps again, or the step here to pull up the step settings. We've already given our step a name, the cookie box. Now you also have the option of setting it up to where customers can select multiple products. They can pick 1 or more, or a single product, which means that they would have to pick exactly 1. Obviously, for building a box, we want to go ahead and allow our customers to select more than 1 product to add to their box. The other option that you have below that is to make this step required. So by default, this box is checked, making this step required, but in later bundle builder product demos, we'll walk through why you might not want to make a step required. We also have by default the quantity selector turned on. So if I turn that off, you're going to notice that in real time, it removed the quantity selector from the product card. If I turn it back on again in real time, you'll see that it re-added that product quantity selector. For a build a box bundle, and especially for something like cookies or donuts or baked goods or anything of that nature, I definitely think that it's a best practice to leave the quantity selector turned on because your customers might want to add more than one of the same cookie flavor. Next would be setting your quantity limits. And so we're going to go ahead and leave this blank, but in future product demos, we're going to show you why you might want to use this feature. Now, the other thing to notate here is we currently have 12 different cookie flavors. And the next option here is to show how many or determine how many products per page that you want to show. So for example, if I go ahead and let's say we just want to show 6 here, you can see where that updates in real time. And let me move my Loom settings away. And so in real time now, we're only going to show 6 of your cookie options. And then we have a load 6 more. And then in parentheses, it shows how many are left. So maybe it's load 6 more, but there's 9 left. In this example, it's load 6 more, and there's only 6 left. So if I go ahead and click on this in real time, you're going to see those additional 6 cookie flavors. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave this blank actually, because I think for this type of build a box bundle, it just makes sense to go ahead and set it up as a product grid so that your customer can see all the cookie options without having to click a load more button. Perfect. So next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of walk through some of these additional features. So right here, it says pick the items you want. The quantity adjusts on each card. And you can see here that that's going to be shown there in real time. So I'm going to say pick as many cookie flavors as you desire, exclamation mark. And then you're going to see where that updates right here in real time as well. So you could add any bit of information you want your customers to see, and that's going to update in real time depending on what you type in this box. The other option here is we have a review your box. So that's what's shown right here. So once we've created this bundle, this build a box bundle, and we're reviewing it on the live site, you're going to see a couple of different identifiers here showing that the customer has added, whether it's 6 or 12, half a dozen, a full dozen to the box. And from there, they'll be able to review their box and then add to cart accordingly. So we're going to go ahead and maybe we want to say review your cookie box. And then again, that'll update in real time right there. Now skip this step. This will definitely come into play in other bundle formats such as mix and match, and we'll show that feature in those product demos. Perfect. So now we're going to go ahead and then update some of our variant and details. Now for cookies, we don't really need many details that go into this. So we're going to go ahead and just leave that turned off. In other product demos, we'll walk through that as well. The drop down, so again, each one of these is its own flavor. So we'll show you what that looks like in other product demos. Next, we have our tooltip and information that we can add. So notate right here next to cookie, when I start filling out these fields, you're going to see a little info icon graphic right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to say something along the lines of add as, or actually this is, give me 1 second. We're going to say pick your favorites. Oops. Okay, perfect. And then add as many as you would like. You can add more than one of your favorite cookie flavors to the box. I knew how to type here. Okay, great. So you can see here this little info icon is now populated. And if I hover over it, it's just going to say pick your favorites, because that's what we put in here. And then if I click on it, you're going to see the title and then the text as well. So if I go ahead and click on that, oops, I said as we meant to say add as many. So let me go ahead and then select that. Add as many as you would like. You can add more than one of your favorite cookie flavors to the box. So that's just a little bit of information that you can provide to your customers. And depending on what products are in here and how you want to guide them through this process, you could add any information here that you think might be helpful. Great. So now with that said, we have a learn more option here. Now this is actually going to show up as a learn more button. Again, I don't know that we necessarily need to fill out the rest of this information on this build a box because adding cookies to a box is pretty self-explanatory. But I'm really excited to walk through some of these additional features in our other product videos. So make sure to check those out. But again, we're going to leave those blank from now. However, I do want to show you a banner image option that we do have. So image, which is actually going to show or populate right here. Now, in order to use this, we actually need to put the URL address from Shopify in this field. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and click on content here, and I'm just going to open it up in a new tab. And once this populates, I'm going to go ahead and click on files. Perfect. And then I believe it's this one. We're going to go ahead and just grab the link. Now let's come back over here. Now you certainly don't have to do this. This is optional, but let's go ahead and paste that in. And now you can see a really cool visual here. So if you are a bakery and you have some really great imagery that you would want to bring in here, just so that your customers can kind of feel your energy and the branding that you have built in your bakery, you could certainly add an image here if you wanted to. I think this looks really great right here, so we're going to go ahead and leave it in. But again, that is completely optional, but I think it's a really cool, just nice little feature to add so that your online customers, again, can get a great feel for your branding and the energy that you bring. Okay, perfect. So now with that said, we've filled out all of the step settings that we want to for this particular build a box. Let's go back over to our bundle settings now. So again, we're going to go ahead and name our bundle. So this is going to be called Cookie Box. And that'll come into play later when you're looking at analytics and viewing all of your bundles when you have more than one. Now you can also manually choose right here what page you want to show this build a box bundle on, but you can also just ignore that if you want to. But again, your options here would be any of the pages that you have built into your Shopify backend. The other option is grabbing your bundle ID right here, going over to the editor, adding the section, and then pasting the bundle ID into the field accordingly. And that's how we're going to do this. So we're going to come back and grab this once we're done with everything else. Okay, great. So from here, we're going to go ahead and select our discount type. So we have different options. We have a percentage, a fixed amount, buy X, get Y free, and then build a box, which is a fixed price. And this is more specific to our build a box bundle format. So with that said, we have the box sizes and prices. So we're going to go ahead and by default, the first one is half a dozen or 6. We're going to go ahead and leave that as is. And we're going to go ahead and put in the price of a half dozen at $10. We can add another one here, and by default, it's going to populate at 12. So this would be a full dozen. And let's go ahead and make that maybe $18. Perfect. Now you could add some additional sizes. Maybe you want to do 24, especially for donuts, half a dozen, or 2 dozen traditionally would be very common. So you could add another option here if you wanted to. We're going to stop at 6 for 10 and 12 for 18. One thing to notate here is our cookies are $1.99 individually. So just keep that in mind, but we'll take a look at that when we're on the live site. Okay, perfect. Next, you can go ahead and include your minimum items and maximum items. Again, this comes into play on some of the other bundle formats. We're going to go ahead and leave this blank. Now, you could restrict this to the exact box amount if you wanted to, meaning they have to select either 6 or either 12. They couldn't select 8 or 9. And we're going to actually leave this unchecked for right now because I want to show you what happens when we leave it unchecked, meaning somebody could add 8 to a box. But we'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll come back, we'll turn this on, we'll save changes, and then we'll show you what the exact box sizes or quantities would look like as well. Perfect. Okay, great. So next we have our display. So this is our step progress style bar. And right now, again, because it's build a box, it's set to just one step. We do have some other options like a bar and tabs. We'll walk through what those look like in our mix and match product demo bundle. But for now, we're just going to leave it as is. Okay, great. So this is also the cart property name. And so when we do add the box of cookies to our cart, this basically is just a identifier. So we're going to name this our cookie box. Perfect. And then this option here also showed this bundle on individual product pages. So if somebody navigated to your chocolate chip product page, this bundle would then automatically be shown there. We're going to go ahead and leave that off. But again, there's definitely times where you want to go ahead and select that. We also have when a customer lands on a product page, you could pre-select products that they were viewing. We're going to go ahead and keep it at don't pre-select anything. That's our default. And we can walk through what that option would look like on one of our other product demos as well. Okay, amazing. So now we have all of our bundle settings set up. We have all the steps or the settings for our one step set up as well. The next thing we might want to do is include some add-ons. I always think that anytime you can increase your AOV, obviously it's worthwhile. And so I would highly suggest, if it makes sense for the type of bundle you're creating, to go ahead and include one of our add-on options here. So I'll just type in baked goods here. And next we're going to select our trigger products. So you could select one or two or three or however many of these items from this step that you want. And that means that if anybody added one of these products to their box, then our add-on pop-up would appear. The other option would be to select all, which is what we're going to do here. And so it doesn't matter which of our cookies the customer adds to the box or how many of each flavor they add to the box. Once they're ready to review their box, we're going to have an add-on pop up. And here is where you're going to pick your suggested products to add on. And so here we have a blueberry muffin, and then we also have a chocolate brownie. So let's go ahead and add those. So these will pop up as potential add-ons once we get to that point. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and include a title for the pop-up. So get our best selling baked goods. Never miss out on an opportunity or a muffin or a brownie. Perfect. All right, great. So we've got those added. You could also offer an additional discount here. We have an additional percent or dollar. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as is. So we're not going to offer an additional discount. But again, we'll walk through what this feature would look like in a different product demo. And we're going to go ahead and click on done. All right, perfect. So now we've got all of that set up. First thing we want to do is we're going to click on Save Changes. Perfect. And next we're going to go ahead and we're going to publish this Build a Box bundle. So now it's published. All of our changes that we've made have been added accordingly. And we're going to go ahead and come back to our bundle settings. We're going to grab our bundle ID. We're going to go ahead and copy that. And then next we're going to go to our Shopify editor, and I already have the page pulled up. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're just going to add a section. Once we click on add a section under apps, you're going to find Presto Bundles. And that's going to pull up in the right-hand panel. We're going to go ahead and paste the bundle ID in this field here accordingly. And this is what our bundle looks like. So this is everything that we've just created right here. And we have a really nice looking Build a Box bundle option here for cookies. We have that image that came through, and again, I think that looks great. And it's just a really nice way to kind of bring your branding online for your customers. And let's go ahead and actually, I want to save this. So I need to move my Loom setting again. So let's save this, and then we're going to preview what this would look like. Okay, perfect. So here we have bundle, and I think this looks really great. A couple of things to notate here. We might want to make this a little bit wider. And the reason why I'm saying that is because add to bundle gets cut off. Not to worry, we can always help you if we need to make some adjustments depending on what theme you've installed and what theme you're using. But what I think we can do is let's go back over here into our editor. One thing you're going to notice is that we do have some different layout options for you within our app. And we're going to continue to add some additional features and functionality for you within the editor for the app as well. So right now our width is 1200 pixels. Let's see what 1400 would look like. Let's go ahead and save that. And now we're going to come back over to our live site and we're going to go ahead and refresh it and take a look at it now. And I think that this looks a lot better. Our add to bundle is great. It's not cut off anymore, and we can see all of the different cookie options. So I think this looks really great. So I think we're set up with everything that we want. So next we're going to go ahead and continue to check out what we've built. So again, we have, our cookie box, the name of it here. We have pick as many cookie flavors as you desire. We have the little info right here, which I think is a great feature add as well. And next we're going to go ahead and we're going to add 6 items to unlock a box of 6 for $10. So let's go ahead and add this to our bundle. And I'm a huge Red Velvet fan, so we're going to go ahead and add a couple of those. And you can see we have 3 of those added, some chocolate chip, maybe some cookies and cream. And you can see here we have added 6 now, and we've unlocked the box of 6 for $10. And then again, because we also have a box of 12 at $18, it says add 6 more for a box of 12 for $18. And so, hey, what a killer deal that is. Let's go ahead and do that. So maybe we're going to add a couple more here. I like macadamia as well. Let's see. And then you might forget as a customer how many you've added. So obviously we have our total added along with, multiples of the same flavor right here. And then you can also see where it says add 2 more there or add 2 more there. So let's go ahead and add an oatmeal raisin, and maybe we want to add 2 of those. And so now we've unlocked our box of 12 for $18. Amazing. I think this looks great. Let's go ahead and review our cookie box. But then remember, we do have the add-on option here as well. And so we do have either the muffin or the chocolate brownie. You could add both if you wanted to, or you don't have to, and you can simply say, no thanks. And so now we can review the box that we've just created, and we can see how much money we've saved. So instead of spending, $1.99 per cookie, we're actually saving $5.88 for a dozen cookies, and we're paying $18. And then from here, we could go ahead and just click add bundle to cart. And so I think we've built a really great build a box bundle option here. But let's go back. First of all, let's click on edit, because what I want to do now is we're going to go back to our backend here. And remember how I said restrict to the exact box sizes. Let me go back over here real quick and just click on remove, because I do want to show you a couple of things. So right now it says, let's actually remove enough so that we only have maybe 3 or 4. So maybe let's back down on this a little bit. Okay, so now we have 3 cookies added, right? And you can see that they're each $1.99. Let's go ahead and add a peanut butter, maybe 2 of those, and another oatmeal cookie. And so what you can see here is that we have unlocked a box of 6 for $10. Now, currently, we can still add additional cookies. And then what you'll see here is that those are still priced at $1.99. So those are at the full price. So we have 6 for $10. And then anything we add between 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, those will be at $1.99 each, which is the regular price. So that's how that's set up. And a lot of times you as a business owner, you might want to allow your customers to, have a box of 8 or 9, but you're just going to charge them full price for anything over 6 that hasn't reached 12 yet. So I think that makes sense. But let's go ahead, and what I want to do first is come back over here, and we're going to say restrict to exact box sizes. We're going to click on Save Changes. Okay, and so now we're going to come back to the live site, and we're going to refresh this page. And so now what you're going to see is if I go ahead and click on Add to Bundle here, you're going to see you need a box of 6 or a box of 12 to review your cart, right? Because that's how we have it set up within the backend when we were building out this Build a Box bundle. And so let me go ahead and add a few more here. And again, we need a box of 6. This says you have one item left to unlock your box of 6 for $10. And that's the same message that we see up here as well. So let's go ahead and add a second oatmeal raisin. And now once we've added that, we can review our cookie box. If I go ahead and remove that second oatmeal raisin that we just added, again, it says you need a box of 6 or 12, and I cannot click on review your cookie box. So that's not an option for me. I need to go ahead and add an additional oatmeal raisin again. And now that I have a box of 6, you can see that we've unlocked the $10 box of 6, or we can add 6 more for a box of 12 for $18. So let's go ahead and add a few more. And again, now that we've done that, you can see here it says you need a box of 6 or 12 to review your box. And so again, I cannot proceed forward until I either remove the couple that we just add so that we have half a dozen again, or continue to add until we reach a total of 6. And I need to add one more. So let's go ahead and add a sugar cookie. And now that we've added that additional sugar cookie, we have a box of 12 for $18. We can go ahead and review our cookie box. And again, if we wanted to, we could include one of the add-on options here. But if we say no thanks, you'll see now we have a box of 12, and you can see what our savings are down here, and then add this bundle to our cart. So again, we've done a lot of really great things, I believe, with this app. But again, we're always excited to hear how our customers are using the app, what features or functionality you would like to include in order to get more value out of it. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions, if you need help at any step of the way, please let us know. We're always here to help. And again, if you have any feedback or feature requests, please let us know. Again, we're available for that as well. And if you have any other additional requests, different types of apps that you would love us to make next or develop next, again, we're open to that as well. So feel free to reach out, and we'll look forward to connecting with you soon. Thank you.